Good evening. Ira Epstein with your metal market review, and this is your end of the day review for Wednesday. And we're at the 5th of April 2023. My time's off because it's just getting on the 4 o'clock and I'm putting this out much earlier than I ever do. And the reason that I'm doing that's pretty simple. As you know, it's the beginning of Passover, then we have Good Friday. I got to celebrate all these holidays. It gets me dizzy, and then I have Easter coming up. Keep in the back of your mind that a lot of the markets are not open on Friday, and yet we're going to get the all-important jobs report. Why that is happening is beyond me, but again, I don't run the government. The government runs the government. What can I say there? So where are we on things? Well, you're getting some wobbles. That's the word I want to use. The wobbles come in with, we saw the JOLTS data get lower numbers for job offerings, and now we're looking at other numbers that are coming in and going, uh-oh, we're starting to see that some of the other areas in the service sector are starting to see slowdowns too. Is that going to translate to anything important becomes the big question. We don't know. We get unemployment claims coming out tomorrow. We get the jobs report. That's going to give us a pretty good idea. Then the argument will come if we're slowing down from the naysayers again. They're going to say, well, that means the Fed's going to stop and they're going to pivot down. Folks, the minimum that I see, and the minimum, I want to be clear, I don't think they're going to pivot down this year. The minimum, I think it would be 3 different reports coming in weak to get them to do anything. If they're data dependent, if you listen to Jeremy Siegel and others, you need 3 reports to get an idea that you're beginning a trend. 1 doesn't do it, 2 doesn't do it. You can get 1 down, 1 up. You want to start getting where the wobble is showing up. And then what they'll do over at the Fed is they'll say, okay, maybe we can pause right here. What's the bet right now on the Fed going up on interest rates in May? 50-50 on a 25 basis point hike. When you take a look and you look to see a 50, you're going to get some very strong data to get that in. It's simply not in play at this point in time. Okay? So when we look at gold, this is a new high for the move. So is gold going to go for an all-time high? Why not? One of the things you're not hearing about is that the deal between Russia and China for oil has put gold in play. And why? Because they're trying to avoid the 2 countries dealing with the American dollar. So China created an exchange that modifies and looks at how the Brent crude is trading. You can pay for that in yuan. Well, that's nice, but does China want to own currency of Russia? Does it want to do anything else? No. And what does Russia want? Does it need all the yuan? No. Gold. Convert to gold, and now you can take this anywhere in the world. I think that's part of what's going on right now. Read a report on it today. I didn't come up with that thought. I started reading it in detail, and I'm going, my God, that's what they're doing. So as those 2 countries, ideally, you know, China's dying to get away from use of the U.S. dollar. They want their own currency as the peg for things around the world. This is the way to do it, and they're doing it, and it all comes alive as they're doing it with this. So that's what I think part of what's going on is taking place. When we take a look at what the gold is doing here on the chart, for a while there, and I know you know this, we were backing off a little bit here. You can see how the market without yesterday's move was just going basically sideways. Then the market started to come alive, and you can see how it's coming alive here, lifting itself up. Okay. The pattern is not one of a trend. It is more of a vertical rise because you have a lower low and a higher high. Ideally, bull trends have higher lows, higher highs. The market held an important test of the 18-day average. You know, that's my line in the sand. You've heard me say that for years if you've watched me. It's also a main filter. When the market is over the 18-day average, I tell traders, filter your other work saying that is bullish. If you have other buy signals, it's a system go. But if you get a sell signal and you're over the 18-day average, it's one thing to come out of a position. It's a very different thing to put on a bearish position. I wouldn't be doing that. The filter is saying no. Well, the filter is still saying here, no, in terms of do we have the swing line saying buy it? The swing line is saying no. The resistance. You're going to see at the end of this video my ad for Bollinger Bands. Do yourself a favor. Learn how to work with them with momentum. Bollinger Bands on their own are a great tool. They're a much better tool if you learn how to use slow stochastics laid with them and what it tells you. I created a video course for it. You see what I do. You do the same. You then get 2 weeks of watching me in the morning. If you're not a paid subscriber of mine in the morning videos, you come in for free. I hammer it away. And if you're smart, you stay with it because I'll keep teaching you things over the course of a year that you'll not see probably in other ways. And the other thing is I keep you on the straight and narrow path. I won't let you deviate. You will want to deviate. You'll want to fight it in some manner. No, I'm going to get that built into you. We'll talk about that at the end of this. But for my money, what do I think the gold traders did today? I think they rang the bell. So as much as I think the market can go higher, I'm friendly, but to get that all-time high, I want to see the market embed. Embed means you're taking these two numbers, putting them over 80, and keeping them there for several days. Again, this is all in the course, and it teaches you. In the gold-silver ratio, silver market is still gaining on gold. And when we look at silver, yesterday, I don't mind telling you, I told my clientele to come out on that hit up there. Goes higher, it goes higher. It was a phenomenal run from down here, and that's where they were in and going. I can prove it, okay? I've got all the documentation in videos. I've got them in writing. So if the government's looking, when I tell you I've got it, and it's readily available. All right. In the copper, people want to get long copper, and I keep going, why? The market has got a bear trend, lower highs, lower lows. The support has consistently been, for a long time now, the 100-day average. Do I have anything back here? Nah, it didn't hit it back there. You have to go further back than's on the chart. That is your near-term support. Support doesn't mean you've turned the trend in the market. The trend is down. Resistance is 401.60. You'd have to get over 409.75 to break this pattern. And even that, if you went straight up there, you'd have a lower low and a higher high. The market needs to do more work to get friendly. We need to see U.S. economy picking up, and that's the problem right now. The economic data coming out is a constant slowdown. It doesn't matter if it's been manufacturing, production. Suddenly it's even a little bit of healthcare and other areas that we're seeing. So the service sector, is it going to weaken? I can't answer that. I need to get to the unemployment claims tomorrow and then to the jobs data to know if it has or hasn't. Why would I guess ahead of time? I don't have the figures. Let's wait and see. In the platinum, as I said yesterday, I think the pros took their money off yesterday. You hit the Bollinger Band. First time you hit the Bollinger Band, now be quiet. I want you to take the course and learn it. You'll do it that way. Then we get to the palladium market. Same thing. You got up to the Bollinger Band. You've pulled right back to the 18-day average. This is the battle now. Traders that want to be bullish are buying it here with stops under there. It's got to prove it can hold. That's what you're waiting on. Before I leave you, by the way, and we'll talk about this Bollinger Band in 1 second, if you like these videos, please give us a thumbs up. In the dollar index, I wish it would have hit that lower band. But are we embedding in the dollar? Now, you take a look at how this is all at. Is it going to let me do that? Nah, it's not going to let me for whatever reason. You have your 3 days. You're embedded. Embedded, slow stochastic. There's a key moving average number I look at, and if the market can rally to that, I start probing the short side. In terms of my recommendations for my traders, I think UUP will be the same thing tomorrow. I'll be looking at that to see where it all comes in. So enough of this. Learn the Bollinger Band with this momentum. How do you do it? Take a look at this. Welcome. I'm Ira Epstein, and I'm here to talk about my enhanced Bollinger Band course. Now, many of you have taken my regular charting course, and if not, you might think you know something about Bollinger Bands. As you know, Bollinger Bands are an algorithm designed to keep the market trading within it 95% of the time, and on a chart, it will offer on the top part resistance, on the bottom support, and the idea is the market will travel within them. We know that sometimes it latches onto that band, goes up or goes down. Well, how do you play with that? Can you pyramid the positions off that type of thinking? Well, I've applied all three of these into 13 different videos that teach you my concept of it. And from that concept, you're able to work with weekly charts and or daily charts. The 13 videos, each about 7 minutes long. The idea here is not to put you in school forever, but to teach. Now, if you haven't tried my complete futures research, I throw that in as well. Whether you've tried this or not, I think it's worth taking a look at. I think you're going to learn something from there. That research, by the way, covers twice daily market updates for you and access to what I call window envelope numbers, which I think are very important when looking at these Bollinger Bands. The next part is a trial to our charting software so you can make your charts look the same way that mine do. It's that simple. Where do you go with it and how do you get all this? It's simple. You go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. If you go to the word education, everything you need is answered there. You can also call my staff. They'll be happy to help you get set up. I'm Ira Epstein, on the road to your education.